Now that we've set your bobbin tension, let's talk about setting the easy set tension. First thing you want to do before you work on your actual quilt, you might want to prepare a quilt sandwich that is similar to your quilt, with a backing fabric, a batting similar to the one that's in your quilt, and a top fabric. So you have your numbers on the left-hand lower side of the easy set tension. So you just have to remember that for lighter weight threads, the number will probably be lower, and for heavier weight threads, the number will probably be higher. Each machine is different, so it's really important to remember that your number may not be the same as your friend's. So let's try and see what the tension is going to be like. We're first going to pull our bobbin thread up. We have two different colored threads. We have a top thread that is one color and a bobbin thread another color, so we can see if there's any tension issues. Today I'm using contrasting thread in the top and bobbin tension, only to show you if there's any problems with my tension. I would highly recommend using matching colored thread in the top and bobbin so that helps with your quilting. Okay, let's check the bottom. So now that tension looks really good, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the tension quite a bit to show you how it can look differently. The bobbin thread is laying flat against the fabric. You really want that to draw up so that the top and the bobbin tension meet in the middle. So we need to increase our top tension at this point. So now you can see that the tension is back to where it's a good tension. So let's see what happens if we tighten the tension a lot, the top tension. So I'm going to give it a couple good turns, bring that number way up there, and let's see what happens. See how I'm getting some little dots of the bobbin thread are coming up. So that would show to me that you need to loosen the top tension. We'll go back down to the previous number, and then our tension should be set. It's a good thing to try and do loops and swirls to make sure that you get that tension set correctly. To set it back to where it should have been, I went down to 210. And I was at about 345. It doesn't take just a small little turn. You really need to turn it by a half of a turn or a full turn. And if that doesn't work, you keep on trying it and loosening it up until you get just the perfect tension. Now what I've done is I've taken the thread out of the tension discs because sometimes quilters don't get the thread quite up in there and hear that pop sound. So I want to show you what happens if we don't do that. Okay, let's look at it now. Do you see how we're getting some, the thread is laying just flat on the quilt. We're getting some bunches of thread here and there. So that will show you sometimes what you need to do is when you have problems like that, go and check your thread path and make sure that your thread is threaded correctly, and make sure that that thread has been popped up in between those tension discs. In between these tension discs is where that thread needs to go, and it needs to be in there securely.